and they've got ice creams, and they've got wine. And if you put, it should be a selection of wines. I'm gonna be honest. I have not had the wines, but I've had people react from them, and they thought they were nice. No, I don't tell it the same way. I was interested to hear. So this is the very first. This is the very first miracle, which is going to be what miracle is performed by Jesus. Now, it's very interesting. They're going to go to a wedding. Now, the wedding. Once at the wedding, they're going to run out of wine. And at a Jewish wedding, you really cannot. You cannot proceed with a wedding without wine. We drink wine, and this is where the use of wine in Christianity is actually coming from. Because these are the truly strong leaders, are the reluctant leaders. Our judges, like Gideon. He was a reluctant judge, probably the most instrumental in defeating the Philistines, and so she is going to push him to perform the miracle, and in the end, this will be his very first miracle. So this is going to happen before he's going to show up in the cities, but also his message to the downtrodden, to the disenfranchised, to those who felt that deliverance and redemption was not within reach. He allows them the possibility to redemption, even if they don't go to Jerusalem. Very interesting. And that we're going to explore all this tomorrow, because we're going to start the day tomorrow. Answered all of your questions. Come up to me. The first miracle was Cana, and we just passed it. Cana. That was exactly by the store. But the churches are closed, so we are in the village of Cana. I'm sorry. But we can't enter, we can't really enter the Cana. Sorry.
Is it 2 nights here?
Back to dinner.
Yes, it is.
7 o'clock.
2 nights?
Yes.
2 nights.
2 nights.
We're here for 2 nights. Oh, sorry, there was a couple of things coming in from different, so. I think I'll turn around now. Okay, we're leaving Cana and we're driving into the valley. In front of us, we're seeing the village of Turan. Turan is mainly a Muslim village. It's right here at 2 o'clock. But it's showing us, we're really seeing the scenery of the Lower Galilee, with its wide valleys and gently sloping hills. At 3 o'clock, do you see a very large blimp at 3 o'clock on top of the mountain, the ridge there? That is new. It's sort of just appeared there like a year and a half ago. And it is an observation blimp. It's looking far into Syria for us. So we are very close to all kinds of borders up here, and we need all types of observation. So the defense of Israel does not happen at its borders. We're too small of a country. We cannot wait until the danger is at our borders. we are looking deep into Syria. And so many times we wake up in the morning and there has been some type of an Israeli operation deep into Syria. You know why? Because Iran, a country which has...
So, yeah, hey, we saw another part of the trip today. You know, I'm enjoying myself, and yesterday I was a bit down because of what I talked about, but having a good time, just back from dinner, and people I'm with in the group are real nice, really friendly people, and we've got a really good group of people together here on our tour, and yeah, went to the Annunciation Basilica today, and in Nazareth, so that was great. Went through in the Palestinian area. So heard the muezzin call to prayer. I don't think anybody else cared that they were calling Muslims to prayer, but got that on video, sound, which I'm glad when we were walking through the city of Nazareth. So yeah, I'm, what was I gonna say? I'm tired, and we're in the hotel here in Galilee, Lower Galilee. We're gonna go on the sea tomorrow. And this is what I was gonna say. We went to the Holocaust Memorial today, and I was glad that I saw that. My own family, on the paternal side, my great-grandfather was Jewish from Lithuania. His family originally from Lithuania. I didn't know that Lithuania was the first country to have Jews rounded up and sent to the ghetto and then to the death camps. Ponari, I believe, was the name of the one in Lithuania. Ponari, I think that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, going through the Holocaust Museum, you do understand why the state of Israel exists for the Jews, because of what happened in the Holocaust. 1.5 million children murdered. We were having dinner tonight, and these little Jewish girls were walking by wearing their, traditional skirts and dressed modestly and from an Orthodox Jewish family, I was thinking, those kids would have been killed in the Holocaust by the Nazis in 1942, 43, whatever year, 40, in the 1940s, early 1940s, those kids would have been sent to extermination just for being born Jews. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the tour guide and his beliefs about Palestinians and Muslims, and he has, he's a right-wing Israeli Jew. It's obvious, but he's a friendly guy. He has the typical views of the right wing here in Israel, which is, I'm not going to argue about it. I don't live here. and he's not going to see this video that I'm making, I'm sure, but I don't want to get into what he was saying about, I don't agree with his viewpoint about the people, the Arab population, the Muslim population here. And he wasn't even just talking about here, he was talking about people in Iran, how they want to annihilate the Jews, and it's basically right-wing Israeli propaganda. Which is not to say there isn't some truth to what he was saying, but no, it's terrible what he was saying, and I just kind of zoned out when he was talking about it, and he himself said, I gotta stop, I'm preaching. I gotta stop preaching to you guys. I guess he thinks we know nothing about what goes on here and what goes on in the world that he wants to teach us about. But I mean, from his perspective, living here and being threatened and feeling threatened and having the history of, being persecuted for centuries, and then what happened, 6 million Jews murdered. He said it was 49% of the entire Jewish population of Europe, or I think he said in the world at the time, was killed off in the Holocaust. There are not that many Jews in the world, something like maybe close to 16 million total today. Not a lot of people. But anyway, the point is, I'm glad I did go to the Holocaust Museum and get that history, seeing it firsthand, the stories, the presentations they have, and the artifacts they have. It was beneficial, and I'm not in any way trying to diminish what happened to the Jewish people, by saying what I said before about Palestinians and how they have been oppressed, and there's been a terrible injustice committed against them in this land, and it's ongoing. And the tour guide doesn't want to acknowledge that at all, really. He just thinks they don't want peace, so we can't deal with them. That's his basic view. And then talks about terrorism and stuff, as if, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not. It's not worth getting into it. But the point is, that's all I wanted to say, was that I'm glad that I saw the museum. We also went to the Holocaust Memorial, because it was beneficial, and because my own family, people in my own family in distant generations could have been, and possibly were, I don't even know, possibly could have been or were killed because of Nazism. I mean, my ancestors came to America, but they got out of there. But maybe they had some relatives who didn't, who were in Lithuania, and they moved to Poland. My family, my Jewish ancestors, on my father's side, they spent time in Poland before they came to America. Poland, Auschwitz. So it definitely has a personal element for me, and like I said, I'm not trying to downplay it at all. It was one of the worst crimes that humanity has ever witnessed, and it should never be forgotten. And I understand why the Jews nowadays in Israel want to be want to have a very strong military and are very concerned about their defense because of what happened. Nobody came to their rescue. Nobody helped them. They were left to be killed. Anyway, I don't want to say anyway, but I gotta stop talking now and say some prayers and hopefully have a good day tomorrow. And I'm sure I will. We're gonna see where Jesus was preaching, and I know more about that than I do about the Jewish people or the Muslims, and Christianity is my background and something I can really relate to. So I'm going to say some prayers and go to bed, and hopefully get through the rest of this tour and make it back home safely. But have some more days to go, and yeah. God be praised.